what do you believe is the most urgent priority for county government in the next decade? What specifically would you work to accomplish toward this priority in the next 4 years? And this time, we'll start with Jack.
Sure. I promise I won't get emotional this time. Anyway, obviously the easy ball to throw out there is jobs, the lagoon, managed growth. These are all things that are important to us. But I think the most important thing that we could strive to put out there, at least what I'd like to see in my term as county commissioner, is to reinstill trust back to the county commission. If we don't have trust in the people and what we're doing, trust in how we're approaching that growth, those jobs, and trust that we're going to work as hard as we need to work to get the job done, then we're nowhere. So I would say all those things, but trust, building back of trust is going to be a big issue, number one issue for me. I want to earn that trust from people of District 2 and county. I'm done.
Thank you. Ron?
Well, there's so many facets to that question. It's really open-ended. I would say that, again, I want to get back to the budget, okay? As a county commissioner, it's going to be very difficult to go into department and so forth to, to make changes, because that's not your job. It's the job of the county manager. So I think the single biggest important decision we can make with respect to that is who we pick as the county manager and who will be our county manager. We have a lot of control over the budget. I think that that's something, and I spent a lot of time over the last week in going through our current budget, and it's very daunting, to be able to say the least, to think in terms of massive tax cuts when you're to us, as homeowners and businessmen, that to be able to make those kind of cuts is going to be difficult. We need to try to do it, because you have to remember that county budget of $900 plus million, that the tax that they get from the homeowner is just a part of it. Okay, and we're going to be going into potentially difficult economic times. We're so dependent upon what those times are that trying to guarantee this amount of tax cut and so forth is a very, very difficult promise to make and promise to keep. I give you this promise, okay? I am going to do everything that I can to cut those taxes for you, okay? Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. Michael?
I would have to say the budget is probably my main focus. That and the fact that I've been a developer for 20 years, and not just in this county, but around the state and around the country. In a lot of cases, I think we've seen that some of the people in government feel entitled. They don't feel that they serve us anymore. That's why I'm running, because I'm a citizen. And we need to remind them that they are public servants. They are not our public masters. With regard to the budget, it looks daunting, but it's actually very simple. You break it down into pieces. You go department by department. You take departments and you meld them together. That's how you get rid of middle management. You go through the departments and say, we're going to start with a zero budget this year, and you need to tell us why you need all the people that you have. That's how you cut down the budget. Look at what happened earlier in the paper. They were talking about roads. Yes, we need more money for roads. But do we need to find the money in the budget, because it's already $958 million? Or do we do like the current administration wants to do? They want to pass a higher gasoline tax and a higher sales tax. That doesn't work for me. If we need $55 million, we need to find it inside that $958 million that's already there. And we can move the money around, and it's there. Thank you.
Thanks, Michael. Jim?
Well, I guess I'm gonna be a little different than everyone else. If you're looking at, for 10 years, the biggest impact to this community will be the Indian River Lagoon. If we don't get a grip on that, we're not gonna have an economy. We're not gonna have tourism. We're gonna have a cesspool, and to recover from that will take, could take centuries. If we don't do something now, we're gonna be hurting. And what it's gonna take to do it is not just county money. It's not going to be just the county. You have to bring in the state, you're going to bring in universities, which we're doing. You're going to have to bring in, I hate to say it, but the federal government too. But all of this has to work together because of all the regulations. But we have a serious problem. I have a degree in environmental health and a master's in public health. And I've had to use that in an organization. I worked for Bechtel Corporation at one time. But these things have to be addressed, and they have to be addressed quickly. But it has to be done prudently, because if we don't take action soon, we're going to be past that time where we can recover. We already know the diseases within the dolphins. We also know that because of the silt, estimates are $100 million to remove the muck, and that's just an estimate. All these things, it's a lot of money, and I don't want to come out of my tax dollar here locally. We need to find it elsewhere. But if we don't do something, we're going to be hurting. And the studies are being done right now, some very good studies by Florida Tech. I've known some of those people, and I believe we're going to come up with some good solutions. But again, it's going to be a hard decision to make. But again, if we don't have that done, we won't have an economy.